No matter what your reason is for traveling, whether it's for business, leisure, or school, there's always going to be something to see somewhere in the world. But there are a ton of difficulties in some countries more than others. So you might be wondering what exactly you can do to minimize the difficulties. And we're here to answer those questions with our top 10 travel tips for this mysterious country. So buckle in your seatbelts and get ready for an adventure to Bermuda. Tip number 10. It's going to get expensive. Bermuda is most certainly not cheap. Most of their goods and resources are imported, so it kind of explains why it's expensive. Basic necessities like bread, sugar, and even gas is much more expensive in Bermuda than it is in, let's say, Canada. So always keep that in mind whenever you're planning the budget for your trip. Tip number 9. Drivers are on the left side. Now, the locals in Bermuda drive on the left hand side here, which is completely different from countries like the Canada or the US. So the tip here is that whenever you cross the road, make sure you look to the right first before left, so that you don't get hit by a random car speeding through the road. On a side note, you can even rent a Twizy, and if you're not familiar, it's basically a sleek two-person vehicle where the driver sits in the front and the passenger sits behind the driver. Crazy, right? Tip number 8. Currency is the same. So, the official currency of Bermuda is the Bermudan dollar, but they're actually equivalent to the US dollar. That means you can use either Bermuda or the US dollar wherever you shop on the island. Just a note though, whenever you pay with US dollars, you might only get change back in Bermudan dollars. Tip number 7. Public transportation. Yes. With an easy to understand bus system, the public transportation in Bermuda is really easygoing and relatively inexpensive. One thing to note is that when you are planning to buy a day pass for the bus system, make sure to buy it ahead of time before you get on the bus. You can only buy them at designated retailers, including information centers. Just be sure to bring exact change. Tip number 6. Support local stores. Franchises are not allowed on Bermuda, which is a good thing. You won't be able to find a McDonald's, a Starbucks, or even a Walmart here because they aren't allowed here. There's one exception though, and that would be a KFC, because KFC was already established here long before the law came into effect, which means it's the only franchise that is on the entire island. Now you might be wondering why the law was put in place, and it's pretty simple. They wanted locals to have their own small businesses, and people would be able to support local shops rather than support a franchise. So what's better than that? Tip number 5. In a rush? Grab a cab. If you are in a rush or you need to go to an appointment in time, then take a cab or a taxi. Just note that taxis are more expensive than the bus or the ferries, so just remember that. They are quick and will take you to where you need to go much faster than any of the other options. Tip number 4. Ferry out to sea. There is an abundance of ferries that take people to and from the cities in the island. If you're on a cruise, they normally offer these ferries for free, so you can definitely enjoy the views without having to worry. Plus, you get the bonus of being able to see amazing sights from the ferries that make it extremely worth it. Tip number 3. Tourist attractions is a go. With so many attractions on the island, you might think that they're overrated. Well, think again. The attractions on the island are always going to be worth it. Attractions like the Horseshoe Bay Beach, the Crystal Caves, and so much more. You will definitely miss out on the beauty in nature if you don't take this tip. They will fill up a day of exploration, but they're going to fill you up with memories you will never forget. Tip number 2. Enjoy the beaches. With so many beaches on Bermuda, one will always doubt on how special the beaches actually are here. Take it from us, they are special and you'll want to enjoy them to the fullest. They are amazing beaches, with some having pink sand with beautiful coves. Some do get very busy, but there are a few beaches that are more quiet as well. So try exploring on your own for a quiet spot and just relax. Tip number 1. Just be ready. Just be ready for whatever may come. Whether it's the expense or the destinations, you should plan in advance, research everything you need to know, from the budget to the transportations to the accommodations. They're all going to help you enjoy your stay in Bermuda even more. That way, you don't get surprised at something you don't know or haven't looked into. With an endless list of destinations, activities, and experiences this mysterious and eye-catching destination has to offer, each and every single journey will always fill you with something different and unique. Were there any other travel tips we haven't mentioned? Comment down below and we'll be sure to check them out. So what are you waiting for? Gather your travel buddies, buckle in your seatbelts, and get ready for an adventure. And with that, Until next time.